Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So seemingly completely unrelated and coincidentally and not absolutely connected to anything that I may or may not have done earlier today, we have a full roadmap kind of like announcement that was scheduled for later today already out on Kuban blog, and we can see quite a lot of like CCP videos coming out discussing all the information in here. So I will give my full spin on perspective of all the full announcement details as well and try to go through it as quickly as I can. Before I get to it, I just want to get an elephant out of the room because there have been many people asking me a lot of questions, and there are some people who are less than happy with me right now. But before I get into the video itself, without making any quote-unquote excuses, because I don't think I should, I wanted to make it absolutely clear I do not know myself who had leaked the information earlier, where the original leak came from. I just know for a fact it had made its way into some line chats, and eventually I got it forwarded to me in my, well, personal messages, direct messages online. At the time I made the video, I didn't even know whether it is accurate or where again information came from. However, it did look like something reliable and believable enough to talk about, so I did. Getting somebody in trouble was not the intention, but I realized if the information is accurate, it could lead to that. So that being said, let's just get to the announcement itself. So I'm not going to read everything word for word. If you guys want, you can pause the video, or you can just go to the Kuban blog yourselves. Basically, it starts with like a quick introduction. Over the past few weeks, we have soaked up feedback, angry rants, passionate pleas, and some truly brilliant ideas for the game. Some we totally haven't stolen. Cool. But yeah, the post in itself is kind of like written fairly cool, and it also starts with like a little note before it actually lists the points. But the main idea is this is kind of like a roadmap for roadmaps to come, because this is a generalized version of what we are going to see over the next couple of weeks being announced with more details. So first of all, everything is broken down into 4 different parts. So part 1 is going to be announced on 23rd, then we have 25th, then we have 29th and 1st of July. So basically every couple of days, or every 4 days, here's going to be a 4-day break, we're going to get like a new announcement, which is cool. And yeah, let's start with the first one. It's going to be directed mainly about quests, a new vision, explore the new direction for the store content MCOC, for the story content MCOC. That's cool. Obviously we knew that they're going to be doing that because they are reworking Act 7 beta, because it was an absolute bomb. And obviously if anybody who played Act 6 complained about Act 6, it's quite evident that Act 6 in overall was a quite huge steaming pile of doggy poo, and it had to be looked into. So speaking of steaming piles of doggy poo, Act 6, all the changes coming to Act 6, bye-bye attack values, hello fresh champion fight. Now obviously that's not a whole lot of details to go from, but the bye-bye attack values kind of implies that I think they're gonna reduce the overall attack values in the quest, which is one of the main aspects why Act 6 was so annoying and nobody liked it. It's because one single mistake, and it didn't matter whether you have a rank 5 5-star champion or rank 3 6-star champion or whatever. If you made a mistake, chances were with one mistake you're likely gonna get KO'd or lose vast majority of your health. And it didn't even have to be like a big mistake. If you didn't parry in time, and if your opponent ended up dropping 4 hits in your block, for instance, you lost like half of your health, and that was all on top of these fights being extremely difficult. Now loading attack value, I think, is first and foremost a great step to kind of like wildly make Act 6 more accessible. Now obviously there are still some very problematic nodes and fights, like for instance, do you bleed rogue? Yes, this is like the 9th video I'm going to mention that fight because it really stung me that hard. What kind of sociopathic, crazy-minded, sick individual would come up with a do you bleed rogue fight? But anyways, hopefully they do rework some of the more troublesome fights as well. And also fresh champion fight leads me to believe that the champion fight's probably gonna get redesigned in its entirety, and likely there won't be that prowess mechanic anymore where you have to dex his special attacks and only then you can do damage. I think it's gonna be entire fight getting reworked. Whether it's going to be a more generic boss fight or whether it's going to be more in terms of a grandmaster fight, we have yet to obviously see, but it's going to get changed. Now immediately a lot of people are going to be screaming and asking for compensations. Now, I do not know, obviously, whether Kabam is going to send out anything to anyone or nothing at all. From my personal perspective, I generally am not that fast if they do not send out anything to anyone, because I already beat the content. I made the decision to beat the content such as it was when it was released, and I'm not, I don't know, desperate for some free stuff if they do send out something cool. But again, at the same point, even if they don't send out any kind of like compensation packages to the people who have already explored it, I'm personally at least not going to be outraged, because this whole thing that is coming together right now is for the benefit and the future of the game, and I think it's kind of like somewhat petty to try and criticize. And again, before I get further into the post, I wanted to make sure that all of these things sound beautiful and sound hopeful, and I'm super hopeful about these new additions to the game. At the same point, I do realize that there are many people who are extremely hard to please. I am personally apparently notoriously hard to please type of guy, so I have been told in my comments section, and I should just shut up and be happier with the game. But the point being is, without a doubt, I know Kabam is gonna fumble at times. Some of these beautiful things might not be coming in game as smoothly, and some of the things might get messed up, but I just wanted to put my hand up, straight up, even though I'm definitely going to be out there to shout out things I think are inherently wrong. Overall, this is a great thing that is happening for the contest, and I think when they're trying to achieve so much change, so much positive change for players, it's, I think, personally about time we give them a bit more leeway and a bit more room to do things. And not everything that they announce here will appeal to everyone. Not everything will be rolled out in the way that we all want it to. We can talk about it, but at the same time we need to keep an objective mind that that is a huge amount of work Kabam has to undertake right now. Anyways, let's carry on. Book 2, Chapter 1, learn about the new direction, challenge and gameplay. Obviously we knew that that's getting reworked again, nothing too special. Get a teaser of Variant 5. I personally think Variant 5 already should be out or coming out at July, but hey, I guess teaser is kind of cool as well. Cavalier difficulty, found out more about the rollout of the next difficulty in Event Quest. Now that will be interesting to see, and hopefully also some details on the rewards for Cavalier difficulty. Super interested in that. Rewards boost, bonus rewards for Abyss and Beyond. Now the point of Beyond leads me to believe that we're gonna probably hopefully see bigger rewards overhaul in the game in general. Perhaps our daily milestones, which I think daily events and 3-day events is again a huge sore spot in the game, and those rewards have to be looked at 100%, no doubt about it. And if they don't, that's going to be one of the first things I immediately shout from top of my lungs, where summer advancement for top spending alliances still awards like 4-star shards, and 3-day events award Cavalier players with premium hero crystal shards, and just things like that. There are many outdated events and rewards, but overall, again, it's definitely a positive thing. So we just need to look exactly how, where and what is going to be addressed. Now soundtrack, I'm sorry, I'm just going to skip it. I have no interest in soundtracks, and I'm playing the game on mute for 4.5 years now. Boss rush and more, now that is super exciting. As I mentioned, typically over the course of a month, the MCOC starts feeling stale starting week 2 and 3, because then you have explored your monthly event quest that has come in. Typically side event has gotten boring, so on and so forth, and there's just not too much happening in weeks 3 to 4 of every month. And I think these boss rushes and perhaps celebrity challenges and more things like that is exactly what we need to kind of like make sure that MCOC feels alive and exciting throughout the month. It doesn't have to be anything big, it doesn't have to be anything massive, special account, game breaking, but it just have to be some extra incentive to log in the game and something extra to look forward to. So I definitely hope that we can see boss rushes and stuff like that on kind of like semi-regular basis, pretty much every month, because yeah, as I said before, game often starts to feel stale at every month on weeks 3 and 4, unless there's some major piece of content being dropped at that point. Anyways, that's it for this part. 2 Alliance is 25th of June. I'm going to try and pick up the pace here. Now, Alliance tools, all new set tools, including battle group, lane and defender assignments. Now that is definitely a good quality of life change, especially for officers. Absolutely nothing to touch upon there. Hope it actually functions and it is like actually beneficial, and hopefully that could lower our dependability on like third-party applications or chat apps or some other tools, which kind of sucks for them, but at the same point I think is long needed in this game. Now the one thing overall that I haven't seen anywhere posted here is masteries, which which I wanted to quickly mention, because I do hope that the mastery changes will come. The masteries are going to be free, or we're going to have these mastery presets. I haven't seen it anywhere in this announcement. It's a major thing missing. It's a major pain point for a lot of players, and I hope it's coming at some point soon. And again, that's going to be one more of those things where I'm definitely going to shout out for it if it appears to be missed out everywhere. So war refresh, new narrative, map, nodes, defensive tactics, and rewards all coming in season 19. So that's exciting, because we know season 19 is obviously just a couple of weeks away, and is possibly gonna make me actually reconsider joining some endgame alliance and pushing masters, or trying to push top 3 maybe in alliance, or who knows. But yeah, hopefully it does sound good. Can't wait for the announcement to see the full details, but I'm cautiously optimistic in that. War future, brand new vision for the future of alliance war and gameplay it might bring. Cool. Again, it's quite vague, not too much specific there. Quest rebalance, evaluating timers, energy, and no design options to reduce stress. Now that is fantastic. That is amazing. That is one of the common complaints that everybody who's complaining kind of like high level alliance war, alliance quests, because yeah, the nodes, the links, the energy in alliance quest, and the stress and the pressure of being available to log in throughout the day, something that automatically kind of like pushes people out if you're busy at work, or for instance if you're working where you're not allowed to access or use your mobile phone at your kind of like discretion. So hopefully that will make actually alliance quest a lot less stress-free, where you can make alliance work for you, as in like maybe quicker refreshes, maybe higher energy cap, so on and so forth, maybe less link nodes. There were a lot of good feedback by Karate Mike, by a lot of different players about Alliance Quest, and hopefully most of it gets implemented, and that is actually going to be like super exciting and super refreshing, not to be stressed. Ideally, one big function that I would like to see here is that any map can be 100% explored with 8 or 9 people, because that would also enable people to take holidays or take days off Alliance Quest if they are actually in fact really busy. And because currently, if realistically you want to go on holiday, you just have to leave your alliance, because there is no way that you can guarantee, for instance, that you're going to be able to log in X amount of times if you don't even know if you're going to have access to internet, for instance. So yeah, that is one big change I'd like to see, but we're going to see if that comes in as well. Quest future, epic new features, gameplay and competition for the future of Alliance Quest. Now again, it's quite vague, but quite interesting. Can't wait to see more details on that. Help system improvements, help all button. So not too long ago I made a video on saying maybe it's time to get rid of help button altogether, and just assume that we have hit that help cap, as in like just give people out 1000 loyalty for logging in daily, and run the AQ refresh timers and energy recovery timers with the assumption that everybody had hit maximum amount of helps every time. So reduce the timers basically by like half an hour, and reduce the energy recharge time for like 1 minute or something. But I suppose this is the best and second best thing. Again, there's still obviously the worry that you actually have no benefit whatsoever of hitting that help for yourself, because once you reach a 1000 loyalty cap, it doesn't do anything for you to hit that help all button. But at the very least, this is the second best thing, where it really doesn't take much for when you are browsing in-game menus, just kind of once hit that help all. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. And again, I would like if they would have gotten rid of help system altogether, probably better, but this is the second best thing, so that's cool. Okay, part 3 coming on 29th of June, and it's going to be all about champions, and this is probably the thing that kind of makes me most excited. So future vision, learn more about champion design and balancing ethos of the future. Cool. We're working our way to buffing at least 2 champions a month, find out who and when. Now this is, for me personally, the most exciting thing in this entire announcement. I'm going to be as quick as I can to explain it, but the simple fact that all your garbage champions have and will have a potential to be really good and usable champions is a benefit to every single player in this community, because number one, these are largely the champions that you will already have in your roster, that you do not have to go and grind for 3 days mindlessly or hope to get lucky with Cavalier crystals and spend an absolute fortune on. This is something that is just net positive no matter what way you look, because you effectively will get a brand new champion for not putting in any work at all whatsoever, and that is going to be kind of like one of those things that everybody's looking forward to, and everybody in the community looks at these champion reworks as a positive, because yes, you get a new champion effectively, and that also increases your availability and ability to clear content without having to wail out on all these Cavalier crystals. So that will actually help you progress further in the game by making all champions actually useful in modern content. Lastly, it gives everybody a lot more to look forward to every month, because I said that every month the game kind of like gets stale towards week 3 and 4. And if you think about it, for a really long amount of time, unless Kabam is releasing some really big new piece of content, like new variant or new chapter in Act 6, there hasn't been all that much to look forward to. We can see the new champions that are coming out, but many people are not going to be able to acquire those champions for half a year till they get added to the basic crystal. Or when they come out, you often kind of feel this weight on your shoulders to actually go and grind or use these Cavalier crystals. But now imagine if you have a champion like, I don't know, Black Bolt and Magneto, and they're getting the buff, and obviously you're going to get excited because you already have these champions, and there is going to be all of these new champions coming out in the game on top, plus these two old champions are going to feel like new champions. So I think just purely for kind of like sustainable excitement in the game, where it's unrealistic to expect Kabam to release like a new big piece of content monthly on top of everything else what they do, but this is like a very great sustainable way how to keep up enthusiasm and excitement and make sure that players have a lot of things to look forward to, because oh boy, they have their work cut out for them in terms of how many old and bad champions there are in the game. As I said before, for about 2 years straight they have just flatlined list of what they can and should buff. So yeah, I absolutely love this idea. I think this is probably the best thing that we have heard today. Okay, Magneto buff, it's happening. MCOC Magneto will finally be worthy of his name. Awesome. Magneto has been one of the guys that many people have been campaigning for the buff. 5-star releases, always wonder about those missing champions from 5 stars. They're coming, so it means Scarlet Witch, it means Wolverine, Joe Fixit, War Machine, which could be a great thing because they might get a buff as well. So again, just absolute wins over there all around. Champion teas, learn about future champions entering the contest. Okay, cool, that's nothing too much to talk about. Crystal update, more control and brand new crystals are coming to MCOC. Now I think that has a potential to be like the second best thing they're doing here, because depending on how they roll out and how much better these crystals are and how much more control they give to you, this is potentially the way how to drastically shorten the gap, in combination with reworking the old champions to absolute whale spenders, mediocre spenders, and kind of like free-to-play players. Because in reality, when you think about it, it doesn't matter if you have 150 6-star champions or you have 50 6-star champions, because realistically you end up using 5-10 of them anyways. If you're going to have more control and more champions are going to be usable, yes, other people might have more champions, but you're still going to be able to kind of like catch up on prestige or your account exploration because you will have the answers. So I think this is kind of like a good potentially way how to make that gap in between what a whale account can do in the game and what it can achieve to what a free-to-play player can do in the game and can achieve. And I think it's very important. It's one of the bigger pain points in the game, and I think it's super exciting to see and hear about it. Again, there might be some fumbles. It might not necessarily be everything that we expect it to be, and hopefully Kabam does a great job. I have absolutely no illusions. There will be mistakes made. There will be points to criticize. There will be things that I'm less than pleased with, but overall, I think I'm personally just going to be overall more understanding towards Kabam and what they're trying to achieve, because they really have put a lot of weight on their shoulders, because these expectations, this roadmap is huge, and to uphold all of it is going to be a monumental task in my opinion. Therefore, yeah, I think they just need to be given a bit more space to work, and for community not to be as nitpicky for everything. But at the same time, obviously, we need to give our feedback in the best possible way that we can, in order to make sure that they know what we are happy with and what we're not happy with. Signature stones more abundant and accessible. Signature stones are getting a major revamp. Cool, about time. Hopefully we can see them a lot more often, because it is a major issue in the game currently. Dual targets, again, it's nifty and cool. And quickly, part 4, future. A range of smaller updates coming soon that will make contests smoother. Cool. Better AI in arenas, less screens and more engaging grind of all time. Now, again, better AI in arenas obviously is going to be super enjoyable and super useful. My problem with arenas personally, well, first and foremost, let me be perfectly candid. I hate arenas. I don't like them. I'd rather quest the entire day than do any arena. But point being is, for me, arena improvements is one thing, and that's great, but there has to be like a 6-star arena added at this point in the game, in my opinion, or at the very least 5-star basic, I guess. But again, for the 6-star arena, my personal argumentation was I spent 3 days about a year ago grinding for Call Obsidian. I spent 3 days, I spent like Odin and a half or 2 Odins, and as I was in middle of my grind trying to push for 5-star Call, an alliance mate of mine popped 5 Cavalier Crystals, spent 1500 units, and got a 6-star Call. So at the end of the day, my problem is not the fact that he quote-unquote got lucky and beat the system and would have gotten the same champion as I did. My problem was that even though I put in a lot more time, effort and money in my arena grind by not wanting to take any chances, he got much better champion because it was a 6-star. Now that is the big problem, and I think that always has been this trade-off for guaranteed value in arena versus like trying your luck with crystals, Cavalier crystals. But for me personally, the problem is that the best case scenario in arena is worse than the best case scenario in crystals, and that in my head kind of like prevents me from looking at any arena seriously. For as long as 6-stars will be available for sale for money and arenas will offer only 5-stars, I'm not going to be interested in arenas. That's about as far as it goes there. Now, Incursion's future, what is coming to Incursion's gameplay buffs and rewards? Now, gameplay and buffs in Incursions, I don't think Incursions inherently has like anything wrong with it right now because it's fresh game mode, it's exciting, people still like it, and my personal problem with Incursions was never really the gameplay itself, it's the rewards bit. So rewards is something that I'm excited for because currently for my account, for instance, there's absolutely no point in playing Incursions. I'm not hurting for gold, I'm not overly interested in acquiring some extra 5-stars, not even all that many extra 5-stars, and they do take up quite a lot of time. So currently Incursions are like at the very bottom of the pecking order of how I'm going to spend my time in Marvel Concept Champions. Even if I like playing them, I just can't justify using my time on that when it could be better spent elsewhere. Now, if they actually made different artifact store where we have access to 6-star shards, signature stones, maybe rank up materials, I would for sure spend a lot more time in Incursions. So hopefully that rewards update is good. A brand new social progression system is coming, learn about it here. Now that is again quite vague but quite interesting. Hopefully it's some more different leaderboards. Maybe they're gonna make a forum where we have like our account information kind of like public and we can compare and compete. I don't know, but I'm super hopeful with that. New gameplay at tease of a brand new fight gameplay mechanics. Okay, cool. New gameplay mechanics are always interesting. New mode. Apparently there's something completely fresh coming, which is exactly what Marvel Concept Champions need right now. Now there is a worry that we're gonna have too much to focus on because in between arena, incursions, quests, monthly quests, story content, variants, everything else, we have a lot to do in the game quite often. It might feel overwhelming. Adding new game mode to it might kind of like emphasize on it. So I think it's quite important that this new game mode either doesn't take up too much time or is something that can replace the necessity of something else. For instance, for ages I have been begging that Kabam makes something that I could play instead of arena in order to acquire battle chips and units and stuff like that. So I don't know what it is, so again it's hard to comment on it, but hey, new things are always interesting. And content commitment, our contract with you to keep it up and deliver more. This is a bit kind of like arbitrary and redundant, I think, because Kabam always says that heroes, they will do more, they do better, but in reality they often fall short. So it's nice that they have the sentiment like that they want to do more, but I think from player perspective what we want to see is them actually doing more rather than saying that they will do more. But then again, this is a quite good start, and again I am super hopeful. I wish Kabam all the best. If there's any way how I can personally help or influence, obviously I will. Outside of that, I will be paying close attention to what is happening right here and whether I personally feel they're pushing stuff in the right direction. And if there is something that I can offer some constructive feedback to, obviously I will, and I will discuss the happenings. And make no mistake, I make a lot of negative videos about Kabam, but I also have absolutely no problem giving praise to Kabam or being excited or being hopeful. Whilst currently this announcement, I can just say that I'm really optimistic, but still cautious at the same time, because as I mentioned before, all of these things are colored with good intentions. When it will come to their actual implementation, it's going to be when they are standing the real test, whether they keep true to their name, whether it's substantial enough. They can say we're going to make signature stones more available, but they might increase it by 10%, which is not going to help anyone, for instance. So a lot of this information is good, it's hopeful, but ultimately it will be judged upon its implementation in the game. And again, I wish the best. Obviously, it's in my best interest for Kabam to do as well as it can, for MCOC to be as big and great game as it can be, and for as many people play this game, obviously, because ultimately it's meant to be a symbiotic relationship. The better MCOC does, the more exciting it is, the better I have a chance to make my channel talking about MCOC. So, all that being said, let me know what is your favorite part of all of this. Are you excited? Tell me which single point stands out to you most. For me personally, it's the 2 new champion revamps a month, and new crystals potentially could be exactly the queue that we need. But yeah, that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. I don't want to keep you guys any longer. It's already quite a long video. So if you have made it thus far in today's video, then start the chat in the comment section with hashtag Baby Yoda. Leave that hashtag Baby Yoda so I know that you have watched the video thus far. So I will know 100% that you have heard everything I had to say and can take your argument in face value. But since we are talking about Baby Yodas, my apologies for missing out Baby Yoda bit in my leak video. Completely forgot about it. I was still quite groggy in the morning. But hey, here it is, Baby Yoda. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with your alliance mates, let me know what you think. Type in hashtag Baby Yoda, type in the thing that you are most excited for, and type in what do you think overall about this announcement. But yeah, this is it, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya!